Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks Best Country, 105.1 The Bull.
Hi, this is Joy Robertson. As many of you know, I love food. I love finding new restaurants. I love trying new dishes. And most of all, I love talking to the many great restaurateurs and entrepreneurs we have here in the Ozarks and beyond. I love hearing their stories, and that's what this podcast is all about, learning more about them and their journey. So join me as we savor the Ozarks. This episode is brought to you by Jim's Steakhouse and Pub, Kitchenland USA, and Springfield's locally owned Fazoli's. I went online and did a little research on Casper's on Facebook before I came over to talk to the owner, Shawn Kraft. And doggone it, I'm so hungry right now. We've talked to Shawn about his Italian restaurant, Nona's, but you also have another one in town, a lovely diner-style burger joint called Casper's. And there's a big old long backstory on Casper's. Shawn, thanks for your time. I want to talk about Casper's. How did you wind up from owning this place to owning that place also?
Well, it's not so much of a fun story, but it's a little bit of a story. So there was a past business partner of mine in some other businesses we had, and so when I had known he came to me about 2012 or 2013. He's like, I love Casper's, always have. Dan, one of the owners, approached me, said, would you like to buy it? And I want to buy it. Will you do it with me? I'm like, all right, sign me up. I love cheeseburgers, and the iconic chili. I love that too. So I was like, okay, let's do this.
So you were a good customer, and so maybe they thought, oh, he may be up for it.
Well, Trevor was definitely the good customer. I was in there sporadically on and off, mostly when Trevor would drag me in, but he loved that place. That was his little ritualistic place. So he jumped on it and, went from there.
What year was that you took it over?
2013, so it'd be about 13 years ago.
Man, that's hard to believe. Okay, so the Casper's that I know when I came to town was in the Quonset hut, the good old Quonset hut. It's like an art museum meets flea market on the inside. Stuff to look at everywhere. Burgers were great. Chili was great. And then all of a sudden, that one closed. Did you own it when it was there, or did you own it? Did you buy it and then move it to Glenstone?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, because we didn't move till about 3-4 years ago over to Glenstone. So all the way from 2013 to that point, I owned it and operated it out of I call the upside down spaghetti strainer, because that metal building was very leaky, as all of our customers know. So it was time to move it. We had to move it.
Either way, all of us here in Springfield and around the Ozarks are so grateful that Casper's is still here. You told me when we talked about Nona's, you talked about your obsession with cheeseburgers. I think you said your favorite food really was spaghetti. Absolutely. But you have an obsession with cheeseburgers, and one of the best cheeseburgers you ever had came from Casper's, or you wanted to make those cheeseburgers the way you wanted, but that was one of your driving forces, correct?
Yes. So the Casper's cheeseburger was very simple. Just a pure American cheeseburger. No brioche bun, no fancy cheeses. It's not stacked up like a skyscraper or anything. It is just the normal, plain cheeseburgers you can imagine. So, and that's what I love. I absolutely love. I'm a purist on the simplest of forms. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to keep, and that's why it's still that cheeseburger today.
So it is the original Casper's cheeseburger recipe?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Just the same. It's just a simple cheeseburger.
Well, there's one way to do it. If you like the dish, buy the restaurant, and by God, keep the dish the way it is. You said it was like the best cheeseburger you'd ever had in your life, and I would agree. And Casper's is known for its chili. Yep. But I was one that would get a cheeseburger. I might get chili also, but I never miss their burgers. So you're onto something. By the way, while we're on the subject of burgers, here's the typical toppings, right? This is what comes on it: ketchup, mustard, pickles, and relish. And that was the way it was originally.
Yeah. So whether it be a hamburger or a cheeseburger, just those few simple things is where it starts. That's like the base. Of course, you can add tomato and lettuce if you want to. We also people put grilled onions on them sometimes, or any combination thereof, but the simplest form. But the important part is the smash burger. There's a lot of places in town that say they're a smash burger. They're not. It's got to be as flat as you can get it, crispy. It's got to be totally smashed, completely smashed. And then you get that cheese melting in there and it all gets inside the meat. It's fantastic. And, of course, the toasted bun.
Oh, you just can't beat that. And that was part of my thing is when I went in there, it's almost like a melt-in-your-mouth experience with that little crispy-edged burger, and it was warm and melty. And have you always been a relish on your burger guy?
I have, yeah. I love relish. I love relish on hot dogs. I love relish on burgers. It is something little relish mixed with some mayonnaise. It's perfect.
Okay, it is good stuff. I feel like I'm a little bit all over the map here. I want to back up a little bit with Casper's. That place started in 1909. What do you know about its origin?
So it started in 1909 on Walnut. That was the first location. And I think it's where a little parking garage is now. I think it was tore down. There's a small little parking garage. That's where it started.
So it wasn't in the Quonset hut to begin with?
No. It was, right there on Walnut in the middle of everything. So then somewhere around, I'm not sure what year it was, but I'm thinking around the late 40s, early 50s, it moved over to Glenstone to a small hut in front of Aunt Martha's Pancake House. So that stayed there. So Casper Lederer's son, Charles Lederer, took over it then during that time. And Charles Lederer had it till 1985. And then he passed away, and Belinda and her husband Dan took it and moved it over to Walnut Street. So back onto Walnut. So first location Walnut, second location Glenstone, now back to Walnut a few blocks to the west. That's where it was from 85 till, I guess, about 2013 or so. No, 2023 or so, sorry. It's too many years. Then we decided we're going to move it back over to Glenstone. And I've been really kind of looking at the Antons. Antons is what got me into cooking and chefing. I think we talked about it with the Nona's thing or whatever. So I've always had kind of like a soft spot for Antons. And
he was a wonderful person. So did you eat there a lot? Did you work there? I'm trying to remember what you told me.
I ate there a lot.
Okay.
So I grew up there as a child growing up. So I think Springfield was divided 50% Aunt Martha's, 50% Antons at that time. We were Antons people. And then I kept going there as an adult, took my kids there, and they grew up with Antons as well. And so he kept bugging me. He's like, please take over Antons. I'm like, I can't. I got Casper's and Nona's, and that's enough for me. But eventually I got the building. We put in a drive-through, moved Casper's there, and then I left some cute little Easter egg hidden relics of Antons throughout the building and the decor in there. So if you got a smart eye and a good memory, you'll see it.
I loved Anton's. He did really good food. He had a Greek omelet to die for. But and the building means a lot to those of us who've been around this parts for a long time, and obviously it means a lot to you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, my thing was 2 eggs sunny side, toast, not cut, so I can smear the yolks on them, and then a mountain of hash. I always wanted the mountain of hash browns. I love their hash browns. I still cannot replicate their hash browns, and I can't find them anywhere. It's just a lost hash brown art, I guess.
I want them crispy. Get them all good and crunchy crispy. We do our eggs the same way. I like to smear the yolk all over the eggs, but I also like to put cheese all over the top. So shredded cheese and maybe a little hot sauce. I don't know.
That's yummy. I like yolk in the bread, and there we go.
Oh, man, I just love lots of black pepper, a little salt, too. Okay, so you moved into Anton's, and you say there are a couple of Easter eggs for those who remember the Anton's decor.
Yes.
Can you give us a hint what part to look at?
Well,
what part of the
more
building?
than a hint. Look for the stained glass. Look for the cuckoo clock. Look for the cast iron skillets, and that's and some other small things sitting around there too.
Okay, good to know. And you mentioned you have a drive-through over there. I'm not sure everyone realizes there's a drive-through at Casper's.
Yeah, after the whole COVID thing and everything, it's like I think we really need a drive-through. I think this is really going to be something that really helps people out and gets people in and out and everything. Because Casper's is neither at the Quonset hut on Walnut location nor the Glenstone. It's not that big. So we doubled our size from 22 to 44 people, but that's not a lot. So the drive-thru has really helped get the people fed. They love it. So
I get hungry thinking about it, and I feel a little bit guilty because we really haven't discussed the chili yet. And Casper's has always been known for its chili, and it is the messiest bowl of chili you'll ever see in your life. And I think the beauty of that is that it's a full bowl of chili. It overflows, and that's just one of the things that you've still got the original recipe, I assume.
Oh yeah, still got the original recipe, still rolling that. We still have all the chili meat done for us locally in town because you can't buy that meat. It has to be mixed for us, especially because it has suet. Suet is like a Depression era recipe for stretching meat out. Kind of like chicory in coffee. So they would grind this suet, which is a different type of fat. They would, very cheap. They'd grind it cheap back then, not now. They'd grind it into the meat to make the meat go farther and go cheaper. So people back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s really developed a taste for that, and it stayed there ever since. Even Reds, the original Reds, when it was open, they used to have, you could see on their old sign in the memorabilia, it said like with suet meat. And so a lot of places did that everywhere. We've retained it. We're the only one in town. We're the only one that does it still. And we get our meat locally, and it's ground specially for us.
Who do you get the meat from? You want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, it's a Gold Crown. Yeah. It's a Gold Crown food and meat thing, and it's over on, it's just down the street from Casper's, a little bit north on Glenstone and off one of the sides a little bit. So
there you go. There's something about that chili that stands out, and maybe that's what it is. It's just delicious. And when you used to go in there, you're a burger guy, but you appreciated the chili.
I didn't really appreciate the chili until I took the Gunslinger hot sauce and put that vinegar heat to it, and then that just woke the chili up for me. So now I have a little ritual. I get a cracker, put a spoon of chili on it, put 1 drop of the Gunslinger hot sauce on there, and I'll just go through a whole bowl that way. So that's my favorite way to do it. But I do not put the chili on the burger. People love it. No, I want my burger and I want my awesome chili separate.
I'm with you on that. Now, nothing wrong with chili on a burger, a good old chili dog, right. But I like, if I'm going to have that burger's so good, I don't want the integrity of that burger messed up. I hate to use the word messed up in a way, because not that the chili messed it up, but it's just I want the chili over here and the burger over here.
The burger deserves its own song.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yes, its own spot on center stage. It's just that good. I want to talk also about the rest of the menu, which you alluded to, burgers, dogs, different things, but you do amazing things with chili. You can pretty much get chili on anything you want at Casper's, and you offer fries or tots. I'd love to know your preference, but you can get them loaded up with cheese and chili if you want.
Oh, yeah, you can take anything on the Casper's menu and load it up with chili. Someday, maybe, I still have the Anton's breakfast menu. I was thinking about loading out that Anton's breakfast menu smothered in Casper's chili. So take your choice of the hungry student or the Greek omelet smothered in Casper's chili. Maybe someday. We'll see.
That would be like the best of both worlds from old school Springfield, to be able to go in there and get those two things together. But so are you a tots guy or a fries guy?
If it is a fresh fry, I am a fry guy. If my choice is between a frozen fry and a tot, I'll take a tot.
My question is always, which is the crispiest? Because I'm a texture person. Are the fries crispy?
The fries can get crispy, but they are cut by us every single day, so they don't get as crispy as the tots. So, as we all know, a fresh tot coming out of there is pretty darn crispy.
Yeah, really good stuff. You do have conies. You have the regular coney, I guess it's just a regular hot dog size, is that right?
Yeah, well, we have 2 different sizes.
Right.
And all these are our regular one is like 3rd pound all beef. So it's a pretty big hot dog for our regular dog, and you can make a chili dog or a regular dog out of that. And then we have the big wiener. Yes. So it's like 12 or 14 ounces on a big old bun, on a big plate, smothered in chili. Smother that in cheese, add onions or jalapenos or pickles, whatever you want to, baked off in the oven. It's a fantastic one. You just need a nap or 2.
A nap and a big napkin, and if you're feeling sorry for yourself, that's kind of the perfect dish to have. And I love that you can throw that chili all over everything. You do an open-faced burger as well, the whammy. Yep. You can do the single or the double whammy.
Yeah.
Did you add that, or was that
No,
there?
that was around before me. They had that going. So yeah, single or double whammy. So either a single burger or a double burger, open-faced. You guessed it, smothered in chili, smothered in cheese. Add whatever extra ingredients you want on that too. You're not going to pick it up. You're going to go at it with a big old spoon, fork, spade, whatever you need.
Yeah, whatever you need. Shovel. What's your favorite?
My favorite? Okay, so...
Well, I mean the cheeseburger, but what else is your favorite?
My favorite's a Frito pie, besides the cheeseburger. I love just getting in there, and just dumping a bunch of that chili on top of some Fritos, and I don't know, I just really like the taste of that corn chip and that crunch in there. And yeah, the Frito pie. Again, Fritos, smothered in chili, smothered in cheese.
Who doesn't love a good Frito pie, though?
Right.
I mean, that's got to be... What's your best seller over there?
Cheeseburger.
Okay.
Yep, definitely so. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger.
When you're responsible for feeding a group, you want it to be simple. And, of course, you want everyone to love it. Fazoli's Catering makes it easy with baked pastas, pizza, fresh salad, and our famous signature garlic breadsticks. It's a great fit for any size office lunch, meeting, family gathering, team meal, or any occasion. Find the menu and order online at Fazoli's.com.
Fresh Italian Fazoli's.
Some people check the weather. Others check our soup of the day. Hi, this is Jim with Jim's Steakhouse and Pub. Our soup of the day changes, but the comfort never does. Just check with your server, because nothing takes the edge off a cold day like whatever's simmering at Jim's.
When you walk through those legendary doors, you're gonna find there's so much to love. So do yourself a favor, dig that service and flavor. Jim's Steakhouse and Pub.
Have you heard the news? Kitchenland USA in Nixa has expanded with a new 2,000 square foot addition. Now they're fully dedicated to your kitchen and bath projects from start to finish, and it's all under one roof. Stop by the new showroom to see and touch the newest sinks, tubs, walk-in showers, faucets, lighting displays, tile, and flooring, all in one showroom.
Kitchenland USA, newly expanded kitchen and bath showroom in Nixa, where your vision is our mission.
I know you sell a lot of chili. I would imagine more in the winter, but maybe not.
Yeah, it sells a lot. Well, that's the thing. So I guess it doesn't really matter if it's winter or it doesn't matter the season. The nastier the weather, the more chili we sell. It could be 100 degrees outside, pouring rain, you're going to sell a lot of chili. So, but I guess maybe a little more in the winter, but chili just sells all the time. We go through, I don't know, between 30 and 60 quarts a day of chili just sitting there on the big bubbling on that stove, just bubbling away.
Bubbling away. Speaking of stove, I found a story that I did when I was at the CBS affiliate, KOLR. This was like in 2011. We were having a hell of a snowstorm, and nothing was open except for Casper's. And people drove through the heavy-duty snow to get to Casper's, get them some good chili, even milkshakes on a day like that. But Etta May was there, and Etta May waited tables for years. Belinda was there, and it was just full of customers, trudging through snow to get there. And they were telling me about the stove that had been there for like 1,000 years. I mean, maybe not that long, but do you still have that thing?
No, that stove has been retired.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it developed a little tiny crack, and then someone threw some water on it when it was hot, and it had a big crack, and you could not find the griddle top anymore. So we had to retire that stove. But that stove is now in the hands of, I think, Chef Wes, who had a few places in town. He was slowly restoring it to put in his house. We'll see what happens after the restoration.
Chef Wes. Are you talking about Wes Johnson?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember Chef Wes, of course.
So he's got that stove now. Absolutely.
Okay, so he's got that original stove. That place, it deserves its place in history.
Well, that stove was the same one that Julia, not the exact same stove, but the same model that if you watch any Julia Child's cooking shows, that is the exact same model, the old garland back behind her during her cooking shows.
Well, I remember them telling me about that at Casper's, and they said, we've had this forever. And there was a big stew pot that they made the chili in, too, that runs in my mind that was when, Etta May would take the bus, as I recall it, go to the original Casper's and cook and wait tables all day.
Yeah. Yeah, she was there for 47 years. And then she would still come in up to several. I think she even still comes in at a new location sometimes.
Oh, good. I was going to ask about that. Yeah. She was lovely. She really was. Talk about your staff now. You've got some people that have been there for a really long time. Marcy.
Oh, Marcy.
I think of Marcy. Everybody knows Marcy.
Oh, Marcy, yes. They all I think if Casper's was a boat, the amount of people that come in to sit in her side of the thing would just tip the whole thing over. So they just line up and they will wait for her. If there's available seats anywhere else, they're like, nope, I'm going to wait for Marcy. And she has her fan club for sure. And you will definitely get whatever you order and she lets you have. So it's her choice. Just sit down and enjoy the ride.
Okay.
And her hummingbird feed Kool-Aid. I can tell her that's how I get hummingbirds, because that thing is so sweet.
Well, I was just about to bring that up, because it's not everywhere you can get a big, tall glass of Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, was that her idea?
Yeah, she's always ran the Kool-Aid. The funny story with how this Kool-Aid, the new Kool-Aid chapter that she's at now. So we used to get the Kool-Aid that was unsweetened, and then she would sweeten it. Always too much, but that's the way she did it. So we started getting the Kool-Aid that was already sweetened, and she kept adding the same amount of sugar she would do before. And it's like, Marcy, this is like syrup. She goes, no problem. And she started cutting it with Sprite or 7-Up.
Oh my God! So add more sweet.
Add more sweet. So that's the Kool-Aid crack that we have today. Is her triple sweet Kool-Aid with Sprite or 7-Up added to it. People love it. They love it, love it.
I'm an unsweet tea drinker, so what does that say about me? I'll add a little bit of sweet, but not a lot. So I don't know that I could do the Kool-Aid, but I do appreciate the Kool-Aid.
Oh,
and
people love it.
Well, that's where you get into this salty sweet,
Yeah.
and you just almost eat all day. How many gallons of Kool-Aid do you go through every day?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I have to go by pitchers, probably like 8 pitchers of Kool-Aid a day, large pitchers or whatever. So as you can tell, Casper's is a very healthy spot.
Obviously.
You got all the sugar you want, all the extra fat ground into the meat, even so that you want. It's all there. It's very, very healthy.
It's all there. And then you've got, of course, you can get onion rings. You can sub onion rings for your fries if you want to. And you can smother them with chili, by God, if you want to.
Chili if you want to. Everything goes with chili. So absolutely.
What is the weirdest dish you've ever seen anybody ask for? But that's probably a question for Marcy.
That's probably a good question for Marcy. I'm trying to think what the weirdest ones I've seen people ask for, but I can't think of one that weird because I just like everything there. We used to have a Casperito. I thought that was pretty darn weird, but we do have a devout following for that. I keep teasing them every once in a while, so.
Have you actually done the Casperito, or was that an April Fool's joke?
Oh, no, that used to be something you could ask for all the time. Then we stopped doing the Casperito. We may bring in an International Casperito Day, but it was a fun joke. So we've had a couple people constantly ask, all the time. And so I had a funny joke. I'll make one and pretend like it happened the day before.
And break the hearts of people all over the 417. Right. Describe the Casperito. I never had one.
Okay. You have a huge tortilla, and then you pile your cheese and your chili inside of it, maybe some onions. I actually called one Casper Frito because I put Fritos on the inside.
I was going to say, you should throw Fritos in there.
Casper Frito. Yeah. You'd roll that up, then it gets more chili on top. So smother the burrito in chili and smother it in cheese. Then you have salsa, sour cream, onions. What people want, onions or jalapenos if they want from there. And then it's baked off, and then you add that cold stuff on top. So you have just a big old burrito chili mess.
Concoction.
Exactly.
For sure. So nothing would surprise any guest. I mean, if you do a double open-faced cheeseburger smothered in chili with cheese on it, I mean, how much messier can you get? Not a whole lot. Right. Not a whole lot.
I have to come up with those Casper bibs or something like that. So that'd be cute.
Yeah,
kind of like
it actually would.
Lobsters, Casper bibs. That'd be good.
Like a Casper bib to... Sean, I think when I leave here, I think you need to get on the horn with whoever does bibs, and that's a really good idea.
There you go. All right.
Well, and
here, if it shows up, we know where it happened at right here.
Exactly. So. The idea was born here. You could actually put a few extra Fritos to throw inside the pouch to beef up your chili.
Or you could pour the chili on top of the pouch, you can have a little, what do they call those that kangaroos have, a little paunch or whatever,
Well, like a trough that you just take with you. Well, that would be helpful for people who are driving. They could just wear their Frito pie around their neck, and you give them a spoon, and they're not going to get dirty.
I'm going to have to go to the gym.
I know. It sounds like a great idea.
I did try with the new burger the other day, and what I do is I take 2 smash patties, smash them really, really flat, toast the bun, then I put the cheese on, let them get really, really gooey, put them on the bun, smash the whole thing, bun and everything, get it as flat as I possibly can. Turns it into a big smashed, I call it the flat earther burger.
Oh.
So maybe it'll show up as specials on there, but the whole thing is smashed. So you can like cut it in quarters, like what are those little Mexican?
Like a quesadilla.
Yeah, you can like cut it like a quesadilla, dip it in different things if you want to, or whatever. But the whole thing is huge and smashed.
Is it crispy a little bit like a grilled cheese once you smash it on the grill?
Yeah, because I get the meat crispy first, and then you smash. And the bun is toasted on both sides, so you get that toasted bun on the inside, on the outside, and it's just big and flat. And looks like you can cut it and just dip it in ketchup or dip it in chili or whatever you want to do.
Call it the Casper Dia.
The Casper Dia. There you go.
See?
There you go.
I'm telling you, this is just, there's no end to the fun. Do you still do shakes?
Not right now. We're looking at something we could do. The only problem with the shakes in the malt side of the old machine was they took so long to make. So it'd take Marcy about like 5 minutes per one.
Yeah.
And so we're thinking, you can get one of those shake machines, but I'm not convinced that that's really what we want to do yet because it's not as good as the originals. But maybe.
Maybe one day,
Not smothered in chili, though.
No, let's avoid that. Okay, talk about the decor inside, because truly, and I have some photos of my dad in the Quonset hut, and I have one of them. I'll text it to you. I was going to bring it and show you. He's just looking around. And I remember taking him in there the first time, and he and my mom both passed away in 2016, and I think this was like 2015 or 14 maybe. And he just loved a good burger, but he loved that Quonset hut. And talk about the decor. Did you dust all that stuff off and bring it over?
A lot of it made it over. Some of it didn't make it over. There was a lot of all the old posters and stuff that were kind of like glued to the ceiling from years of grease and soggy plaster and whatever the rain, came through or whatever. And there's a lot of stuff that we save. There's a lot of like Charles's because he was really into astrology. And then there's a bunch of that like clay art where he would make like suns and stuff like that. Or it's like some of it was baked clay art, some of it was concrete art. So we got concrete, we got clay, we got his astrology stuff. There's all these crazy coconut heads that would scare people in the bathroom. Those are in the bathroom. We tried to keep a lot that we could. There's some stuff that didn't make, like there was some of the old chalk dolls that you would win at the fairs and stuff back then or whatever. We didn't really have room for those, but we got all the crazy masks and we got the wooden dangle things and the little mobiles and stuff. And then we added a bunch of cool stuff too. So, and then customers continue to bring in things as well.
I started to say, people do bring you little tokens to put around.
Absolutely. Tokens, stickers, so we do what we can with that space on there. And it's just crazy, it's like we actually had to replace the booths in the next week or two, some of the booths there, because the wood was just so old and soft. It just wasn't going to make anymore. So we're like bringing in some new booths, but we're still keeping the crazy party colors, the red, the blue, the orange, the yellow, so it's all going to be kind of like the same and everything, just to keep it fun and happy and keep what it had grown into over all those decades and everything. So,
well, I think you posted something on Facebook and you said these booths are just about to go. Who knows someone who can help us with these? So it sounds like you found some help.
Yeah, we found some replacement ones. And we had the big round booth, the famous big round booth. That one we don't know what to do with. They don't sell those. So I need to call the guy back. I haven't called him back yet to come in and fix that round booth and keep that all the same and try to rebuild it from scratch. Or Grandpa's favorite axe, replace the handle twice, the head 3 times type thing, So, but we want to keep that big round, that iconic round booth. So.
Yeah, and the colors are great. It's just so vibrant and fun in there. Talk about your desserts. And I love the way you have the menu on the side of the building.
Yeah.
Because if you drive up or if you're standing out waiting to get in, you can kind of take a look at the menu and decide. Or if you're going to drive around to the drive-thru, there's the menu right there on the wall. And of course, you can find it online too. But I did not see desserts on the printed menu. Is there a reason for that?
Well, I think because of desserts, mostly. So we used to have one day, I can't remember, maybe it was Tuesday or something like that, was pineapple upside down cake day. But everyone loved that. So I'm like, fine. Tuesdays every day. Let's just keep pineapple upside down cake. So we continue to have that in there. And then sometimes we'll get different pies. I think there's a peanut butter pie right now. And, if you're going through the drive-thru, be like, hey, what dessert you got? Because it might be different, And we got to be careful in this day and age. People put it online, be like, I ordered this. It's like, we don't have that right now. So, desserts is one of those things we keep rotating. Do we have it? Is it a different one? Things like that. Okay. So,
but the pineapple upside down cake is every day now.
Yes, supposed to be every single day. So we still our recipe, still our thing. But yeah. absolutely.
So that's been around for a
Ham
long
and
time.
beans.
I forgot the ham and beans.
Every day instead of just one day with cornbread. So you can get ham and beans and get cornbread with it. So we have cornbread every day as well instead of just one day a week.
I'm glad you brought that up, because if you're a ham and beans person, and I think you said, do you want crackers or cornbread? And I'm like, well, who in their right mind wouldn't want cornbread?
Well,
right?
There's some diehard cracker fans out there.
I get it. I love the crunchy too, but man, a good cornbread. I'm glad you brought that up. That's how sort of diverse the menu is, but it's just that good home cooking, and it's just that diner style food, and you can sit at the counter still, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, the counter still, and you can watch the kitchen in action, whether you like it or not, and sit at that beautiful. It's the same counter. It's still the same counter, so everything moved over just quite nicely.
It's great, and I'm sure during the Route 66 Centennial, and a lot of people who travel Route 66, you probably get a variety of people from all over the world.
Yeah, we definitely do. It's like a little hot spot for the Route 66 travelers and everything, because it's right there, whether it be right on Route 66 or a block off Route, it doesn't matter. It's right there on Glenstone at this point. So they love it, and they come in, and because they can get that feel with their photos of the old diner, you know, and it matches. And during the Centennial, of course, we'd all have all these fun people with their fun cars. It really just kind of stepped it back in time a little bit, you know. It's kind of fun. So
where's the farthest visitor you can remember?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to guess Australia, because we do get a lot of Europeans for sure, but I think Australia is probably like the farthest that I can think that I can remember, you know. But even as we talked about before, I'm in Italy all the time, so people are like, where are you from? And I'm like, Springfield, Missouri. I don't know where that's at. I'm like, the center of the United States. Like, okay. I'm like, I say Route 66. Route 66. Like, so it's always that. It's always Route 66 or The Simpsons. But they all know Route 66.
Everybody knows.
In my neighborhood, there's a Route 66 bar in Italy.
You're kidding.
Well, that's hilarious. You know, they got all the memorabilia up there, and they got license plates, and they got everything, but they have Italian food, so no smash burgers there, no hot dogs.
Do you ever go over there and make them a good smash burger? Because you should.
The only problem is I can't get the bun. I can't get the right white Wonder Bread type bun. They don't really have them there at all. So you have to get some other strange. It just doesn't really make sense to me. And you can now, but it's harder to find like yellow American cheese there too. You know.
I started to say the carry-on would work for the for the buns, but I'm not sure about the cheese making the trip. Interesting though, and I know you do spend a lot of time in Italy. And of course, you have Nona's beautiful Italian restaurant. Do you divide your day between the two, or how do you split your time? So
when Trevor and I decided to move Casper's, we ended up bringing on another partner. His name's Thomas Orr, and he owns Colton's down on the south side of town, Colton Steakhouse. So Thomas does so much work there. He is there actually more than I am, you know. So between Thomas and our main chef cook, Ed, they really kind of have things on lockdown there. It's really, really nice. So I bebop out of there, do my administrative stuff, eat my Frito pie, talk to people, you know, and that's kind of my role at this point, you know. I'm smashing my own burgers, not everybody else's burgers. You know? I got it. And then you're over here, because I've seen you when I've been in here, a lot of times you're right back there in that kitchen. Oh, yeah. No, I live in this kitchen back here, whether it be 5 o'clock in the morning on Monday and Tuesday or Friday or Saturday night, you know, it's like there. But my guys kind of like it when they're like, don't they need you somewhere else at this point? Don't you? I heard they're calling your name up front. I'm like, oh, whatever. Clean that plate up. Make the sauce tighter, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So. I get it. Shawn, move along. We've got this. Well, it makes such a difference when you've got a good team, and especially if you've got more than one location. But, I mean, what a fun and delicious life that you lead every day. Oh, well, thank you. But the team, like the Casper's team, they are just quirky enough it fits, you know. So as you get new employees, and they got to be a little quirky, and it's great. I want them to be outgoing and goofy, and maybe they tell a joke. They're like, "What did you? I don't even know what you just said, but who cares?" You know, it's great. So I love the quirkiness to it. And then, Nona's, I have a great team here that just keeps it, you know, keeps the consistency going, keeps everything going. But you know, Casper's is what keeps things happy. You know, I always tell people you need 3 projects in your life. One that makes you money, one that makes you happy, and one that drives you crazy. You know, so there's got to be 3. Casper's is the one that makes you happy, you know. But yeah, so it's like everyone should have 3, but one's got to make you happy. It doesn't matter about the money. Casper's is the happy one. Happy, happy, happy. You can't help but smile.
You can't help but smile. Even driving by it, you can't help but smile.
Chili in your teeth, but you got to smile.
Yeah, well, so does everybody else. What makes you crazy?
Oh, I always get different projects that I pick up or whatever, but sometimes Nona's drives me crazy. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well, I won't drag you into that.
Good crazy.
I mean,
it's good crazy, not bad crazy.
Anybody in the restaurant business has to be a little crazy and has to be prepared for a little crazy.
Yeah, I call us unemployable. We must have been unemployable because this is where we're at. Yeah. So, absolutely.
You did say that last time. I said, how did you get into hospitality? And you said, essentially, I'm unemployable. And you stick by that.
Yeah, to this day, I'd probably fire myself.
Well, I vote that you stick around for sure. So, Shawn Kraft, thank you for spending time with me again on Savor the Ozarks. And if those of you in the audience haven't been at all or haven't been in a while, for the love, get to Casper's. You will not regret it.
Okay. The first thing I do when I get back from Italy is I get my Casper's burger. That is the one thing I crave the whole time I'm gone.
Well, and there's no better place to get it than right there, right along the Route 66 path. Shawn, thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me on your show again.
We'll talk again. Let me know when things are changing, and I'll come back.
Perfect. Sounds good. It's a date.
Be sure to go to AroundTheOzarks.com to sign up for our daily newsletter where you can get every episode of Savor the Ozarks, plus all our other podcasts, events, and contests straight to your inbox. And what are your favorite dishes in the 417? You have any restaurants you'd like me to visit? Email me at joy@AroundTheOzarks.com.